I was beginning to lose hope. I was beginning to think my son was never, ever going to get better. My child is happy. He's talking. It is amazing. We have our son back. We have our son. So these people are amazing.
Our theme this year is courage, and certainly our children exhibit a tremendous amount of courage in overcoming the challenges that they have and of also becoming the very best people that they can be. We're here for a specific purpose, and that is to make a difference for both our children who are in the neonatal intensive care unit and at the Leanne Britton Infant Development Center. The Britton Center is truly about families. It's not children receiving therapy and education in an isolated situation. It's families coming together and of parents learning of how to address the challenges that their child may have.
At the Britton Infant Development Center, we provide services for children birth until they go to kindergarten who have different special needs. So we see children with Down syndrome, cerebral palsy, autism, muscular dystrophy, and a host of other developmental disabilities. Insurance is a crazy world, and many of our families' insurance plans do not cover all the services their children need. Our scholarship program is really, it's just amazing. We have families that, you know, without that assistance, they wouldn't be able to come. They wouldn't be able to get the services their kids need. It is a vital piece of our service delivery. We couldn't do it without the scholarships. So Tiny Tim, every year, those funds that are raised go to help that scholarship fund, and it allows us to, year after year, serve those kids who may not be able to come without it. Our families really are going through a lot of changes in their life when they have a child with special needs, and whether that happens at birth or when their child's 2 and suddenly not talking, they're dealing with a lot of things, and for them to know that they can come to one place, get all the different services that they need, it's a huge sense of relief for those families.
In terms of Tiny Tim and the biggest impacts, I think in the Leanne Britton Infant Development Center, to see our autism program grow, just the concern that we have in the community for the growing volume of diagnoses, and to see those families that are looking for assistance in their communities.
Autism affects 1 out of every 68 children. That is a staggering statistic. And what we know about autism is that the sooner that they are diagnosed, the earlier that they get comprehensive therapeutic treatment, the better off they will do in the future. And so as children are getting diagnosed, it's so important for those families to have a place to go, get the services they need, and not be put on a waiting list for months or years.
They were born full term, 38 weeks. They were 7 pounds apiece. You know, we're thinking, great, we have our 7-pound babies. Here we go, life with twins, never sleep. My daughter was hitting all the milestones, all the markers. Malachi at 9 months was not hitting all those milestones. We knew in our heart that something was wrong. I had done a lot of research on autism. He had a lot of the different symptoms. He's not talking, he's not requesting, he's not using eye contact. We need to get him tested. So at 20 months, my son was diagnosed with autism, severe, developmental delays in all areas. He basically had an 8 to 10 month cognitive motor skill level at 20 months. We got here and my son was only saying 2 or 3 words, and now he's saying upwards to 30 to 40 words. He's learning new words every day. He's requesting things like, I want milk, I want water, I'm hungry. In my world, that's huge, because when he used to just sit and scream and cry and bang his head, I didn't know what he needed, I didn't know what he wanted. When we got here, they were able to bring him out. I knew it was in there. I needed these therapists to help me connect with him and get what was in there out of him so he could stop with the tantrum, so he could have a happy life. And within 6 weeks, my child is happy. He's talking, he's requesting things. He's saying things like, hi daddy, hi mommy, when we walk in the room. As a parent who didn't have a kid who could do any of that, it is amazing. We have our son back. We have our son. And that was just 6 weeks. So these people are amazing.
We really do feel there's a need to expand our autism services. Currently, we provide comprehensive services for about 10 children with autism.
It costs a lot of money to make these miracles happen. They can add more kids to the program. They can make the waiting list a lot shorter, and you can get those kids in earlier. The key is early intervention. The key is, as soon as diagnosis, get them in an intensive program.
There are just many other children who need those services, and I hope that we can do that in the near future.
From the very beginning of the history of the hospital, the birth experience in children have been an extremely important part of the mission of Shawnee Mission Health. Truly, with our NICU, families are what we're all about, in the sense that if you can tell from when you step into the NICU that the nurses celebrate the family.
Tiny Tim and the donations towards the birth center have made this place possible. From receiving Omnibeds, which are state-of-the-art warmers that are used for our sickest babies, and maintain the warm environment by utilizing that giraffe device, has been just something that wouldn't have been the same care that we deliver today if it wasn't for the donors.
You're seeing up-to-date equipment that is top-notch, that some of us nurses have had to go and get trained on and be educated on just in order to work with them.
Shawnee Mission Health is a very special organization, not only in the values and in our mission, but you see people living them out every single day. When they use a tagline, much more than medicine, I know people hear that all the time and they think, oh, much more than medicine. But there's no better way to describe how people here at Shawnee Mission embrace healthcare and how we provide it to our community.
I went into early labor, 28 weeks, and they tried to stop it. It worked for a couple days, and then once we hit that 28-week mark, it didn't work anymore.
The reason that we had an emergency C-section was because the other twin had passed away. In the circumstances that we were in, we felt comfortable. We felt like this was as close to home, the amenities of home.
The baby has their own room, so you can sit there all day. There's not certain hours set for visiting and things like that. They had the high-risk ultrasound, the OB doctors on call. We never had to leave and go anywhere else for a procedure, for an ultrasound, for anything like that. From the moment we were admitted, which was very, very early on a Sunday morning, they pulled together a team, really quick. And I know it's their job, but they did their job very well. We were in a separate room for a week whenever I was hospitalized, and whenever Bria was upstairs, we could ask them to do like a video stream of Bria. Even if she was just sitting in her isolette doing nothing, it was nice to just, hey, can you put the camera on her? I want to see what she's doing.
Especially coping with the loss, of the other baby and stuff, and it felt like to me that we needed something to kind of get our minds up.
If I have another opportunity to have another child, it will be at Shawnee Mission.
I think my favorite thing about Tiny Tim is seeing the families, or to see the kids, the joy that you see on their faces, as well as all the NICU associates and the infant development associates that are there volunteering, and just so grateful to offer this event and get to be able to interact with all the donors that make our work day so special to provide to these families.
A big thank you to all of the members of our community, from businesses and organizations, foundations, individuals. Thank you for all that you've done to help us serve the people in our community.
I'm very excited to meet some of the people, let them know how much we appreciate everything they've done for us and what they've given to help us be what we are today.
To see the generosity in our community, to see the commitment to these kiddos and their families, it's very humbling.